Once upon a time, there was a Swiss banker named Roland. He was in his 20s playing soccer with his pals, going to bars to have a beer and a good time, while chasing the dream of making a successful career and becoming wealthy eventually. He was an ordinary, cheerful, open guy. But on the inside, Roland was sad. Something was missing. Until one day he went to a friend's wedding. And there he met her, the love of his life. At the table they sat next to each other and started a humble conversation. And later they even danced with each other. A few days later, Roland saddled his white horse, put on his helmet, took his sword and rode to save his beloved, defeating a few dragons on the way. They have lived happily ever after since then. Roland's pain is gone and his life is pure, simple sunshine. Well, no. After all, life is no fairy tale, or not always. Roland's relationship with the love of his life, Regina, had to grow. They had many arguments in the beginning and Roland was challenged with dealing with his anger and insecurities. They didn't have a typical honeymoon, but thanks to honest and open communication, they could build a fundament that lasts until this very day. Even though young Roland was single, he actually enjoyed his life and there was no deep sadness he had to be rescued from. While he kept some of his old hobbies, like playing soccer with his friends, Regina has opened a whole new dimension to Roland, spirituality, like for example in reincarnation therapy. Ever since, Roland has found deeper meaning in things, but also sees more of their contradictory nature and complexity. He also became more critical of the news. The discovery of his spiritual side also brought him to his latest passion, telling fairy tales. Not in his daily life, but as a profession to a selected audience, providing them with one of the deepest needs in humans, stories. His task in life, as he said, is to bring the two together, business and spirituality. He found his new purpose as an independent business coach with an eye for the bigger picture after being challenged with leaving his job at the bank at the age of 50, which means ground zero for many. He knew that there must be more in life than working for others. So today, when Roland puts on his sunglasses and sits in the sun to enjoy a glass of wine, he certainly appreciates it. While our existence may not always exactly resemble a fairy tale, what we can learn from Roland is the following. The more depth you gain, the more complex and sometimes complicated things become, but at the same time you also find more tools to deal with that complexity. And one of the most powerful tools is to know how to tell your own story to others, but mainly to yourself. And sometimes, without noticing, you may even be like a hero in one of the fairy tales.